Hello, good evening everyone. This is Hamza again. I hope all you are doing well. Okay, so as I promised you all, my friends, that I will share with you the second part of the session. So hopefully the previous session was useful. If anyone he missed the previous session, or he can back to the previous video, and he can see the video and continues with us in this video. Okay, so thank you for your attendance. Okay, so let's go on. Let's move on. So last time we discussed about type of philosophy and set of extreme, which is dependent on philosophy itself. Now we will enter in more details, which is related with major philosophies, and at the end we will go to a summary. Okay, great. So let's move to the major philosophies. All right, very good. All right, so the major philosophies in any study is kind of divided in the 5 main philosophies. Okay, there's positivism, critical realism, interpretivism, postmodernism, and pragmatism. All right, very good. Okay, before we enter to details in each one of these philosophies, this structure on this photo or image is very important. Okay, it is give you a comprehensive understanding for all the philosophies that we are going to talk about in details. Okay, so I will just explain this in a fast way. Okay, so you see that the first, it's called like it look like onion. Okay, they call it the philosophy the onion graph. Okay, so also see that this first layer, okay, talking about philosophy. As we said, positivism, critical realism, interpretivism, postmodernism, and pragmatism. Okay, this is the first one. After that, if we want to go in details, we will go to the approach theory development, which is deductive, abductive, and inductive. We will concentrate on deductive and inductive because these are the major 2 approach has been used in the research. Okay, then we go to the third layer, which is talking about methodological choice. That's mean which methodology you will use. Do you will use quantitative? Do you will use qualitative? Do you will use multi-method quantitative, multi-method qualitative, or mixed method? Okay, these are talking about the methodologies choice. Great. After we do the methodology choice, we move to the strategy one. The strategy part, this layer, it is talking about how you will collect or do the research. Do you will depend on experiment, sorry. You will depend on survey. You will do archival research. You will do case study, or you will depend on action research, grounded theory, narrative inquiry. All these are strategies you have to follow. Then this layer is talking about the time horizon. The time horizon can be divided to cross-sectional and longitudinal. Okay, this is very I will not discuss in details about these 2 meaning, because these are related with the methodological part, which is talking about how you will depend on collecting your data, okay, and how long it will take that. So the cross-sectional is one of the fundamental one. Most of the studies they can rely on. And the heart of the onion, the last layer, is talking about data collection and data analysis, which is mean the techniques and procedures. Here you will go and follow your analysis, which mean you will follow doing SPSS, you will do PLS, you will do AMUS for quantitative study. For qualitative studies, you will use NVivo, you will use other software like that related with the qualitative studies, and all these are the techniques and procedures that you will follow. Okay, great. I hope this this graph, it will I hope it was very informative for all of you. So this is very important to know. Okay, good. Let's move on now. All right, as I said in the beginning, there are deductive and inductive. So for me, as a PhD student, I follow the inductive way, which is quantitative study. So I depend on a theory, then I move to create hypothesis. I did observation, which is collecting the data, and last, how I interpret the data, which is confirmation. Okay, but for deductive, it's more related with the qualitative study. You will start from the information you collect them from the interviews, from the that you make with the audience or with the respondent, and also you can do with the group also studies. So information, then we create a patterns or themes, then we will do a tentative hypothesis. After that, we will move to the theory. Okay, that means we will create a theory when we follow a deductive approach, because we depend, as you remember, objectivism, which is related with more than realities, not only one reality. Okay, so that means I will see the society, I will interact with the society, then I will collect information, and I will reach to the theory. This is the quantitative, but for qualitative, this is for qualitative. Okay, so for the quantitative is opposite, is it depends on the theory. So you start to read about the previous literature, about the previous theories, and from that theory you will interpret and you will create your hypothesis. Then you will do the confirmation and do observations. Okay, I hope this is important, and this is very fundamental as well. So here also you can see that the general principles start from here, go to special case, which is deductive, and we are moving from special case to general principle, which is inductive. All right, very good. So I hope these two graphs very informative for all of you. Okay, so let's move on now. Okay, so we will move to details of talking about the 5 main philosophies that are important. Okay, so I will not go in details, I will just give you a hint what is the difference between them. As I said, if you are interested to go in details, you can back to the link below that I will edit for the YouTube for my channel. Below you can go back and you will find the slides is available for all of you, and if you want to know more in that and you are more interested. Okay, so positivism that we said is suggest or accept. That means it's emphasized on physical phenomena. Okay, like a natural science, strict to yield, observation to measure, like a pure data and facts, which is not influenced by a human interpretation. Okay, so for example, positivism, it is what are the factors to enhance productivity of manpower. Okay, this is an example of positivism approach. Okay, so positivism, as we say, it is philosophy. It can rely on the previous epistemology approach that we mentioned about how we working on research design. So you see here there is ontology, there is epistemology, axiology, and typical method. Okay, this is a comparison, so you will know the positivism position in these 3 main research designs. Okay, so I will not go to details. I just giving you this table so you can read it in details and you can understand it. I will just mention here the typical method, because positivism is related with more about quantitative methods in analysis. Okay, so for a PhD student who do quantitative like me, they will follow this approach on this philosophy. All right, I hope this was informative. Great. Okay, let's move on. Okay, critical realism, it's also related with one of the philosophies. So it's talking about how you criticize the reality you're living in. So, for example, if you say, what are the real reason for high turnover rate in the company? Oh, okay. So this critical realism, it also can be measured and can be interpreted from the research design, like ontology, epistemology, axiology, as you see on the table on the left hand. Okay, so I will not go in details here. I just give you a general view about how is the relationship going on in this topic. Okay, and in the left hand, also talking about critical realism, satisfied ontology, according how we can looking for the reality. Okay, so as you see that the real, which is causal structure and mechanism with enduring properties. Okay, so then you move to the actual, which is the event or non-event generated, and the empirical, which is events that are actually observed or experienced. Okay, so this is the second theory, and probably according to my knowledge, for me, I didn't read this in details. Okay, I most concentrated on positivism and interpretivism. Okay, so critical realism probably not my thing, because it depends on the events and how you make interpretation according doing structuring and depending also on historical data. Okay, analysis. So I didn't enter in details on this topic. So if you are interested, you can go and Google it, which will be give you a lot of information about it. Okay, great. So interpretivism, this is important. This is against positivism, so it is a reverse relationship here. That's mean he's talking about human creating meanings. It depends on human, because they interpret the realities they observe. Okay, so that means studying social science is different from natural science. So for example, you ask, how does the university fresh graduate think about career development across different fields of study? Okay, this is interpretivism philosophy, which is also can be observed from research design, ontology, epistemology, axiology. This is the main difference in each of these designs, and this interpretivism is more related with the qualitative studies. All right, very good. Okay, very good. So let's move on. Okay, for postmodernism, this one, it's also emphasized on the role of language and power relations. Okay, so that's mean question accept why you think and give voice of marginalized view, like you ask yourself that what is considered right and the true to decide collectively. So if you say how far corporate social responsibility is truly reflect internal on employing staff with physical disabilities, for example, how far. So this is talking about the power relation. So it also can be interpreted from the research designs, ontology, epistemology, axiology, and also the method has been, this is talking in depth. So it depends on destructive reading text and reality against themselves. So this one is also one of the philosophies, which is like critical realism. Probably it can be studies in not in management. and is more related with humanities, okay, like social science and so on, okay. So this is postmodernism, okay. The last one, it is pragmatism. All right, pragmatism, it's important. Why? Because it emphasizes on the concept and relevant where they support actions, so produce practical solutions. For example, if you say how the government could solve the problem of unemployment among fresh graduates, okay? So pragmatism can be interpreted, as I mentioned, from the design, ontology, epistemology, axiology, and the research method here. If you follow a mixed method, that's mean if you follow qualitative and quantitative, you will rely on this philosophy to interpret your data and to follow your research, okay? So anyone who do mixed method, probably who will depend on pragmatism, doing the qualitative study first, collect the data, and then do a quantitative studies after that, okay? Very well. Okay, so I think that's all about major philosophies. So I will go to the summary here. Probably will give you a nutshell about what we mentioned. Okay, so as you see here, if you want, probably it was a lot of information and you want to know the main differentiation between the paradigm that we follow, that like positivism, interpretivism, critical or pragmatic, and following the design like ontology, epistemology, and also what is the question and what is the method. Okay, so as I say, positivism, talking about what works, so it is on quantitative. Interpretivism also, why do you act this way, this qualitative, okay. Critical, we said it's depend on reality, okay, so ideological review of civil actions. And pragmatism is depend on method, mixed method, design based, okay. This is a nutshell. So this last thing I would like to mention that all these 5 research paradigms offer opportunity to guide research, so each offer advantage and challenges. So you have to choose these research based on what? On your personal view, okay? On your research question, on the access, support, and resources you have, your supervisor attitudes, okay? You cannot interfere, you go to quantitative or you go qualitative. You have to choose the right supervisor, okay? If you want to do a quantitative, you have to go with the quantitative supervisor. You want to go with the qualitative, you have to go with the qualitative supervisor. And you want to do both mixed method, you have to find out someone who study a mixed method. So it is depend, all right? So these are the paradigm perspective for the whole research philosophy. I hope this session was informative for all of you guys, and I really appreciate your time, and I hope that was really useful for all, inshallah. Okay, so that's all. That's it. I finished my session, and please, if you liked what I do, share and subscribe so that you can see any updates video related with research. Okay, thank you very much and wish you a great day. Bye bye.